boys and girls, I am Ms. Moran, and welcome back to your math lesson. Today we will continue learning about measurement. Remember, we've been going over these vocabulary words all week long. We're going to be measuring some items by its length, and that's when we measure an object from one end to the other end. That's the length, like this worm. And we might also be measuring by height, which is how tall an object is standing up. So from the bottom to the top, like this example right here with the little girl. We're going to be measuring, so we have to remember our measuring rules. We are only going to use one unit the whole time we're measuring that one object. So we cannot have a combination, or we can't combine cubes and paper clips and ruler. If you're going to use a cubes, you're going to use a cube the whole time for that one object. Also, if you're going to use small units, you have to make sure they're in a straight line, that they're not crooked, that you don't leave any gaps, or that you don't put any on top of each other. That we have to begin measuring where the object begins, and we're only going to count up to where it ends. We're not going to continue counting all the way through. All right. So, and today we're going to be using the ruler. So this is just going to be practice for us. So please pay attention, and I'm going to show you an activity, and then I'm going to show you the homework. All right. So let me show you that first activity. Okay, for this activity, we're going to be using, and for the homework, a ruler. So this is what a ruler looks like. All right. And this side is the inches side. That's the side we're going to be using today. So it has the numbers of inches. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This whole ruler is 12 inches long. All right. So we're going to measure this toy again. And when we have a ruler, we have to start measuring where the toy begins. So like right here. You can't start over here because the toy doesn't start there. So because if you put it here, it's going to say it's about 7 inches long, and it's not that long. And if we put it in the middle, that's going to be wrong, because it's going to say it's only 3 inches long, or 3.5. So you have to put it at the very beginning. And if we put it at the very beginning, we find out that this is actually how many inches long? What number is that? 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually 5 inches long. All right. So now that I showed you what a ruler looks like and how we're going to measure, I'm going to do another activity that's going to be very similar to your homework. So let me show you that real quick. Okay, so for this activity, we're going to drag the ruler, which is up here, to measure the items, and then we have to choose how many inches long each item is. We're not going to do this side because this is in the homework, but I'll go over the homework in a little bit. So we're just going to do this 2 right here. So we have to figure out if the sweater is 5 inches or 3 inches long. So what we're going to do, and they're helping us here. See how there's a dot where the item or the object begins, and then another dot where the object ends, and then there's a line in the middle so that we can measure from this dot to this dot, or from this line to this line. So we're going to move the ruler. So don't put it right here. That'll be wrong, because that's not at the beginning. Don't put it here, because that's not right either. It's at the middle. You have to put it right where it begins. So you're going to look where it begins, and you're going to keep looking where it ends. So is this number a 5 or a 3? Where does it end? It ends on a 3, right? So you're going to choose. My answer will be 3 inches. All right, so now I'm going to do the cup. Again, you can't put it like this. This will be wrong. This is not where the cup begins. And they already helped us. They put a dot at the beginning and a dot at the end. So we just got to make sure the ruler begins here and ends here. And then we got to decide if it's 3 inches or 2 inches long. So if I put the ruler here, is that correct? Is that a good placement for my ruler? Nope, it is not. How about right here? Nope, it is not correct. We have to put it right there at that dot. All right, so that's where we begin and that's where we end. So what number is this? Is it 3 inches or 2 inches? It's going to be 2 inches. Correct. Okay. So your homework's going to be very similar. I'm not giving you a lot of homework because I know this is a little bit harder, but I still want you to practice. So let me show you your homework. Okay, so the homework is going to be very similar to the activity that I just did. Your ruler is going to be here. You should be able to move it. Make sure you're very careful that you don't move it or you don't make it bigger or smaller, because if you do, you're not going to be able to get the correct answer. All right. And you're going to move it up here to measure the items. Same thing over here. You have 2 pages. You're going to move it up there. You're going to have ovals or circles here to answer your questions. If that's your answer, you're going to put it there. Or if that's your answer, you're going to put it there. So we're only going to do one because I didn't give you a lot of homework on this. So here's a sleigh, like a snow sleigh, and we're going to measure it. Remember, they already did the circles for our beginning and for the end. They're helping us. So you have to put the ruler, your ruler has to begin here, and you have to stop counting here. Now we have to decide if the sleigh is 5 inches long or 3 inches long. So we're going to grab that ruler, and can I put it right there? No, because the dot starts right there. So you're going to put it, you got to be careful. You're going to put it right there. Okay? So the dot starts here. It's as close as it can be. And the other dot ends here. So what number is this? Is the answer going to be 5 inches or 3 inches? It's going to be 5 inches, right? So we're going to put our circle right there. And we're going to move our ruler so that we can measure this one. Okay? So that's going to be your homework. And now I'm going to go over what we learned today. Okay, so today we continue learning about measurement, and we had an opportunity to practice measuring objects. We used the small ruler and we placed it on the correct place at the beginning of the object, and we counted to figure out how many inches an object was. So today was a good practice of measuring. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson and that you were able to practice using the ruler and measuring objects. And I will see you here next week. Bye-bye.